Welcome to Fusion Tonight. Fusion is a worship talk show produced in the studios of First United Methodist Church in Cedar Falls, Iowa. We're going to laugh, sing, pray, give, and learn together. Now, scream and yell like he's somebody famous. Here's our host, John Cooper.
Woo! Welcome to Fusion Tonight. I'm your host, John Cooper. How are we doing tonight? Look at all of you. I haven't seen you since last year. It's good to see everyone to kick off a new season. I thought it's been a while, and even though we got littles, I would dust off and do a classic monologue where I actually tell jokes about things actually happening in the news. Non-political, of course. Yeah. So these are all real stories. These are all real things happening around the world. If you don't believe me, you can look it up, okay? First off, in Germany, a flock of sheep escaped from their farm, and more than 50 of them went into a grocery store. How many more than 50, we'll never know, because the guy responsible for counting them fell asleep.
That's bad.
You know, I thought that was my strongest one. It gets worse from there. New research suggests that came out that says dogs actually learn new vocabulary words just by eavesdropping their owners. So I am thrilled that my dog knows every swear word. So excited. Every time he barks at the mailman, I'm like, you watch your mouth. And finally, scientists conducting research have said they are finding a link between chronic nose picking and Alzheimer's disease. And this is supported by the fact that people who pick their nose often forget that people can see them. All right, we have a fantastic show for you tonight, but before we go do all of that, we got to do our churchy business. So for those of you who haven't been at Fusion before, we do some churchy things up here. Surprise. One of those is our open mic time, which looks a lot like Joys and Concerns. So this is your chance. You can raise your hand. We call on you. You lift up whatever's on your heart or your mind. It could be something serious. It could be something silly, happy, sad. We talk about it. We pray about it so that hopefully when we leave, we can be about it. So it is open. Rowan, your hand's always up first. Lay it on me, big guy. All right. So basically what Rowan said is we know not what our future holds, but we know who holds our future. So tomorrow is a surprise. We will see when we get there.
You said that much better than I would have.
Thank you, Rowan. Violet.
The robot that I've been working on for the past little bit turned on the other day.
Woo! All right.
Starting on the new one.
Success. So getting
is it prepared to take over the world tomorrow?
Well, it's about this high and it's just not quite driving around yet. So I don't think so.
Heard you got to watch out for the small ones.
I'd be more worried about that other than the fact that there's like 20 large, like 125-pound ones in a place I go like every day.
Okay.
So.
All right. Robot's going to take over the world. Thank you for that encouraging news, Violet. Love that. Flowers.
Me,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, those are flowers, right?
Cheetah print.
Cheetah print.
Yeah.
All right. Cheetah girl. All right, let's go.
I could play Jingle Bells on my viola.
Nice. All right.
Bring it next week.
Great job.
But you're
Stripes. Yes.
My violin teacher said that we're having a concert just on violin.
A just violin concert. All right, so we can play on the viola. We're having a violin concert. So we've had Cheetah, Stripes, Hyper. You're up.
I had a pretty with Paul and Paul before this today.
You had a play date today, so we got to hang out with friends. All right, and that's always exciting. Thank you for sharing. All right. Yes, I see a hand up in the back. What's that?
Friends came to church.
Friends came to church. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to have all of you. Yeah.
Amelia and Lily both had their first gymnastics meet of the season, and they both placed.
All right.
Good job.
Yes. While you're talking about your girls, one of my coworkers brought up Girl Scout cookies. Is that still, so I know where to get my fix? Okay, I'll see you after the show.
When's that coming? Soon, right?
You can buy them now. They come in the first week of February.
February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can buy them now.
Yes.
So if you're an addict of cookies, see the blonde ones, they'll hook you up. All right. You already went newbie in the sweatshirt. Yes.
February 6th, there's a Stray Kids movie.
Okay.
Making a Stray Kids movie?
A Stray Kids movie.
It's a K-pop.
It's a K-pop thing. All right. Okay. That's not what I heard originally, so I was like, they've been making those for a while, but okay. Stray Kids. Okay. Wink, wink to anybody that caught what I just said.
That was like the entire 80s genre.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Goonies and...
They had it locked down,
Yeah.
I think. All right. Anyone else? All right. I'm going to try to recap all that. We're going to bow our heads and pray. For those of you that haven't been here, we do conclude with the Lord's Prayer, but I shut my mic off. It's a chance for you to say the Lord's Prayer in your own voice, in your own cadence, in your own timing. If you don't know the words, you don't have to. That's why you're here to learn. We'll have it on the screen for you, or you can follow along with the person next to you. So if you'll please bow your head and join me in a time of prayer. Gracious and Holy Father, we are so blessed to once again be able to gather in the space, to be with one another as we come to worship you. Lord, we've had a wonderful Christmas break, and we got a chance to celebrate New Year's, and we had a break from our Wednesday nights to do all the other busy things for the season, and we've had some time away, but we're always so thankful when we can reconvene, we can come back, and we can do our normal programming and come together. And tonight, Lord, is one that just feels fun. There's a lot of fun energy in the air. We're being silly, and I think it's okay to leave some of the heavier things at the door, leave some of the more serious things at the door, and just enjoy being in one another's presence. There's so much joy to find in this world and to find in this life, and anytime we can take a pause from the things that depress us, that make us sad, that weigh on us, and focus on the things that lift us up, I believe is worth the time. We've had some prayers shared. We've had successes with robots and learning instruments and getting to do concerts and play dates and being excited for switches in school schedules and movies coming out and all the things that might seem big to us and little to others, but anytime we have something to celebrate and look forward to, it's simply wonderful. And Lord, we've looked forward to getting to come back together and to be in church and to be with this community. We have fresh faces that have joined with us tonight, and we hope that tonight is empowering for them, enriching for them, and we want them to leave with their buckets filled. We want them to leave feeling closer to you than when they walked in. So let us be the church. Let us, in the words that we say, the lessons that we teach, and the actions and the love that we show one another, come from you and inspire people to continue to want to get to know you. Because we believe that by following you and giving ourselves up to you, that we can be better people and we can do better things in this world. And instead of just waiting to get to heaven when we've left this earth, maybe we can just bring a little bit of that heaven while we're still here. We can relish and share in a little bit of it while we're here. So we bring this to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who taught us to pray, saying, All right, we're now going to do our offering time. This also acts as a time where Jenna likes to get all the little kids scurried on out of here. Every month we do a specific mission of the month, and all of our money that we collect up here goes to that specific cause. So we don't do a pass the plate like on a Sunday morning. We have 2 giving jars at each doorway. During the video that's going to play, you can stand up and stretch out and give as your heart calls you to give, or you can wait until you exit later at the end of the service. So with that, this is your time for offering.
Church World Service is an interdenominational organization which provides humanitarian relief wherever it's needed. Our mission of the month focuses on Church World Service's Blanket the World with Love program. That program provides blankets to those in crisis. The blankets can be used for warmth, for shelter, as a bag to hold belongings, and any number of other uses. The blankets are distributed to people who are displaced by conflict and to victims of domestic disasters such as wildfires, floods, and hurricanes. A blanket is a pretty important thing when you've lost everything else. Church World Service does more than just blankets. They have programs which aim to provide local, sustainable solutions to poverty and hunger that are implemented all over the world. So let's help Church World Service blanket the world with love. This is our mission of the month.
All right, we are now going to do our main event, and surprise, it's me. Yeah. I am the main event tonight. I'm going to give my message, my testimony, with some news to share. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm going to get it over quick so we can process it together. This is my last season as your host of Fusion Tonight. And I got to add to that, this is potentially the last season ever of Fusion Tonight. We did not come to this decision lightly. This has been really hard. I will try not to cry too much. As you know, Gabby and I are expecting a baby. Yes. We are having a baby boy spring break week, if baby comes on time. Avery affectionately calls him Diddums because we do not have a name picked out. We are not taking suggestions because we don't want to add to the already impossible tasks that we have. But baby is due March 18th. And so I have been wrestling with this for a while that it was going to be time to be done. Chris and I were trying to trace back. I've been doing this since before Gabby and I were married, so I've been doing this for over 12 years. With Chris by my side, we have had teams of people, we've had a load of speakers. We could have a whole in memoriam that would take longer than you would think of people that have passed away that have been guests on this show. But everything has a life cycle, and we think this has reached its end. And so the logistic part that we have to get through is we are taking the season to spring break. Whether baby comes early and I have to leave, the programming will go to spring break, and then it will cease. So last week you got a taste of what it looks like when everything shifts up. So after spring break, that is what Wednesday nights will look like. Now, I say that, I will be done, but it will be a blank canvas. If somebody is burning to do something new on Wednesday night, if you have a calling in you that you think you can offer to the church, there is a blank canvas and an opening for you. If you have an idea, you have something you want to bring to the church, please get a hold of Chris or Pastor Chad. The church and the staff will support you. I know that there is a desire to not lose what we have, but it's just going to be something different with new people, and I'm excited to see what that next thing could look like. And so I need to talk a little bit more. It's been 12 years. I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm going to say your name and I'm going to cry, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Leslie Toma. There we go. We got through it without too many waterworks. Leslie was the one who first twisted my arm and wanted me to lead Wednesday night worship. And we were doing like a transformation light type of thing. We had rock Christian music from Papa Roach, and it was interesting. And I didn't connect with it a lot at first, and then we kind of cooked this whole idea up that we would do a talk show, we would interview people, and it worked. We ended up creating a group called the Circuit Riders, where we actually equipped people that had never preached before, and we gave them an opportunity to come on this show and to give sermons and to learn how to public speak, and we equipped people to become preachers, to go out and do pulpit supply, to fill at Washington Chapel and Frederica, excuse me. We had people that became licensed local pastors because they got their start here. They were emboldened here. I went to school for lay ministry because of doing the show. We had other people go to school for lay ministry because of being on the show and being so emboldened. And I am really proud. I am really proud of that because I feel like we set out to make a difference, and we did. And for a long time, I felt the calling to keep doing it, to keep changing it, tweaking it, to make it the best that we could be. But life changes, and I'm not going to be able to do this. Having a baby was enough of a reason to say it's time. I need to focus and be there for my family, be present. We're going to have new responsibilities, but going back to a month ago, we're in the third trimester now, we're getting close. When that happens, you have to have more appointments. That's just part of it. They got to keep checking in on the baby, making sure baby's good up until the due date. And so we've had more Wednesday nights where Gabby hasn't been able to join because she has to do sub-planning. She has to plan for absences so that she can be at these appointments. And so I've had some Wednesday nights where I've had to bring Avery on my own and do the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. We'll eat together. He comes up to Fusion when I come up to Fusion. And then we go do the things, and it's fine. And it started not being fine. He was really struggling with the separation because I'm not a pastor. I've been asked if I want to go that route, and I don't. I'm not a pastor, but I've been able to be a focal point in the church, a public speaker in the church, and there's responsibilities that come with being a focal point in any congregation. And Pastor Steve Williams' words always stick with me. When he retired, he said, I'm lucky my kids still talk to me, because when you go to church and you're the main event, or you're the host, or you're the pastor, or you're the speaker, your focus shifts from your immediate family to the greater congregation. You're so focused on the church as a whole. I got to take care of the church. I got to reach people with my words. I got to be a vessel for Christ. I got to fill this role. I got to fill the role. I got to be in character. I got to do all these things. And it was fine for the longest time until you're one-on-one with your kid and you start to be aware that he notices you're present, but you're not. You're eating with him, but you're focused on, what am I going to say? Do I have my questions? Do I have my jokes? Do I know what I'm going to pray about? Kids are really smart, and they pick up when you're not completely in that moment with them. And a month ago, I stepped out to get a drink of water after we did offering, and I'm getting ready for the interview. and I hear him crying my name. They say if you drink water, you can't, you can choke.
You're right.
They say if you drink water, you can't cry, because if water goes in, it can't come out. I don't know if that's true, but
Nose picking thing.
my goodness, that was ill-timed. He runs out in the hallway and he's crying my name. He's worried I'm going to leave him up here by himself, and he's freaked out. And I can hear the offering video is about to end. Jen is out there with me, and I'm trying to hand him off, because I'm like, dude, I gotta go be the host. But he didn't need me to be your host. He needed me to be his dad. And so, God, I'm ugly crying. Holy crap.
So are we.
And it was a moment of clarity. It's time. It was going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But it's going to be a lot easier. Because I need to be his dad. That is where God needs me to be. Oh, holy shit. My dog knows that word. I'm a manager at my job. And I always tell my employees when they're like, I had something come up, I gotta leave, is that okay? I tell them, my job as your boss is to make sure you are where you are supposed to be. That does not always mean you are supposed to be. God is telling me where I'm supposed to be. And it's on the other side of this desk. It's with you guys. It's in the pews. It's in the chairs. And as much as I'm crying, I am looking forward to that transition. I'm looking forward to bringing my family to church, not because I'm working, but because I get to grow in my faith with them. I get to sit and I get to hear somebody else speak. I get to have my bucket filled. I think it's going to be wonderful, and I'm excited to see if and who steps up into this role. But as hard as it is to cry in public, despite how many times I've done it, as hard as it is to share the very raw reason, I think it's important to be vulnerable so people know it's okay. It's okay to be done. It's okay to give, and it's okay to know when it's time to let somebody else give. And it's time. So, so with that, we will still continue Diffusion till spring break. We'll have Ash Wednesday and I'm sure other interruptions. I'll come out, I'll do my lame jokes, I'll interview my guests, and it'll go on like normal. I'll be real honest with you. Initially, I was hoping this would be a lot easier. We would have had a host that stepped up. And I was literally going to wait till my last show and say, surprise, I'm done, give it up for the next person, and we could let it carry on. But the more we talked about it and thought about it, the more we felt it was appropriate and responsible to give this group time to process that what you have come to be used to is going to come to an end, and to give you a chance to think about what you want Wednesday night to look like going forward. And we feel that ending this season at spring break gives whoever that individual is a chance to light that fire over the spring and the summer and to tackle the fall with whatever that may be. So So yeah, that's the news. That's where we're going. That's where I'm going, and that's what things are going to look like. And even though we have more shows, I cannot thank everybody enough that is a part of this, that puts up with me, that pretends to laugh at my jokes, that shows up, that listens to all the wonderful speakers we've had, that listens to so many cool missions and testimonies, and just stories of witnessing faith. And this has been a dream for me, and I hope that it has been good for you as well. I never wanted this to be about me. I always wanted this show to stand on its own. I wanted it to be about God. I wanted it to be about our guests and you, and I hope that we have succeeded in that mission. That, yeah, it's sad I'm not going to do it, but that the work we did will be lasting. And so thank you for following along with this really crazy idea to do a talk show in a church, for letting me swear. I'm sorry, Pastor Chad, please don't send me an email about it. And just being a part of this, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So that'll wrap it up for tonight. I look forward to the season, but we have gathered, and I sincerely hope we have grown, and let's go be Christ for one another together. I'll see you next time.